Hey guys, it's Marshall from Going Gear, and we're here with another giant pile of lights. Last fall we did a comparison of all of our big and bright tactical lights, our big thrower lights, and we got a bunch of new lights, and I got a better camera today, and we have a better setup, so I decided to do it again. So we're out here on the same farm that we were last year, but this year we have a little bit different setup. Still have my Nissan Xterra, so we're going to use that as the kind of control, the headlights on it. Got the tripod here right next to it, and a field out here, which I'll show you in better detail in just a little bit. But we have all these lights, so we're going to go through and just compare them, show you how they do compare to each other. Got all our big and bright lights, not a whole lot of small single cell, AA, CR123. It's more of the 2-cell and the larger guys, your Olight SR90, 91. Even have the 4D mag light in there, although it's going to look pretty bad, even more than normal. My EDC pocket tool, the Stanley Fubar, and let's get started on this. We'll show you how we're going to have this set up. Alright, so like I said, we're going to have this tripod right here. The camcorder, the semi-hand, is going to be mounted to it. It's a new camcorder. Got it today. It's supposed to have some of the best low light performance on the market. So hopefully we're going to get some really good flashlight videos out of this. The testing that we've done, it's done really well. I've got my Zebralight H31 FW on my head, my favorite headlamp in the world. So you're going to see it a lot throughout this video. If you're ever wondering what's illuminating the lights in my hand or the stuff on the ground in front of me, it is that headlamp. Alright, I have the camcorder on a tripod and I'm using a little remote, so hopefully we're going to avoid some of the shaking that we had last year just from messing with the camera and knocking it around a little bit. So what we have is the Olight M3X, and it's illuminating some stuff out there. What you see out there are some Halloween decorations left over from last year. I was actually going to use them in last year's comparison video, but we got lazy and didn't set them up. So we're trying to be better this year. We have them at, starting from the left, that's at 100 yards. The middle one's at 200 yards. The third one on the right is at 300 yards. And then about 50 or 100 yards beyond that is the tree line. So you'll see that with some of the really bright lights. You'll see the tree line with some of the really bright lights. But pretty much all these lights should be at least able to light up that first target. So again, 100 yards on the left, 200 yards in the middle, 300 yards on the right. Or if you're a European or from anywhere else in the world that is smart enough to use the metric system, 100 meters, 200 meters, 300 meters roughly. All right, just a quick note about the settings. The way we have the exposure and everything set up and the white balance is we try to get a good balance between all the different lights. Some of them are going to look kind of green, some of them are going to look kind of blue. I would just ignore the tints, honestly, because we try to find a good middle ground. Although we tried to get them all as close as possible to an average of what they'll really look like. But we are using the same white balance, we're using the same exposure, same settings on all these videos, so you'll be able to side by side do a really quick comparison. And another thing that we're doing is Casey's going to be over here with his Nikon camera taking long and more of up close pictures of all the different beams, so you'll be able to have nice high resolution versions of all the beams to compare to each other. What kind of camera is it?
D7000.
D7000, Nikon D7000 is what he's using. Instead of the 4D mag light that we always use for a control, we are actually going to use that later on, but instead we're going to use my car's headlights as a control. It's a 2004 Nissan Xterra XE, so you can get an idea of what headlights look like, and then brights as well. You can see, goes out to the targets halfway decent. The one at 100 yards lights up pretty well. 200 you can see part of it, and if you really squint you can see part of the one out of 300 yards, the lighter colored parts. But just as a control, that'll give you an idea of car headlights. These are the stock incandescent ones. I think they're roughly 700-800 lumens. So those are Nissan Xterra car headlights. Alright, if you guys are wondering who's out here helping me this time, we have Casey. We'll get him to wave. There you go. And Andy's out here as well. He's back behind the camera, but they're both going to be handing me flashlights as we get going along with this. So we're ready to start. This is not going to be in this video, but if you want to watch the whole playlist, we'll have all these set up as a playlist so you can see all of them in a series. This is my little camera remote that I'll be using to direct all of this. So let's go ahead and get started with the first flashlight.